Hello and welcome to all of you guys. On a Monday evening, you are probably going through a lot of trauma given that the CDC 6 was a kind of a shocker for a lot of you. Some of you are saying that the QA was easy, some of you are saying that DI was really tough, or for that matter, even verbal ability and reading comprehension. I saw some of the comments which asked what was 99 percentile kind of things. I tell you what, over the next 30 minutes to 45 minutes, I will take you through the CDC 6 analysis. Somebody asked how many people wrote. More than 4,500 people have given the submission by yesterday evening itself. So I'm going to take it up one by one. A lot of questions that you might have, I'm going to also answer them as we go along. But today, you're going to be stuck with only me. There'll be no GP sir, there'll be no Jijo sir, no Ravi Teja sir. It's going to be ARCs all the way for you today as far as the CDC is concerned. So are we ready, guys? If you are ready, let's go and see how we will do this. What say? Good evening is what a lot of us are saying. Thank you so much, my friends. ISMI to medias is saying, I like the CDC. DI was difficult, especially the 6-question set. VRC ne to jaleel kar diya is what Sumit says. And Asghar Ali says he's a big fan of me. Thank you so much, Asghar. I love that. Sorry, I missed the last 3-4 CDCs, guys. As we go along, I'll be there a lot more as we go, as the cat comes closer. This mock trouble the other faculty members also, it seems. Arjun Maitro. I won't say that is correct or wrong, but I can tell you one thing. This was really a shocker of a paper. When I saw the paper itself, in fact, except for a couple of passages in reading comprehension and one set of DILR, I think this paper could be forgettable. But before I continue, there are certain things that I will tell you why we did this. Thanks, Sarav. Thanks, Gautam and Jack. Asli Zalil to LRDI ne kar diya is what Abhishek Rutra is saying. Let me concentrate a few minutes now on what was the logic of giving a very difficult paper. Let's very quickly look at the agenda. As always, is going to be the analysis where we'll talk about the overall paper, the VRC, DLR, and QA. A few of you, if not all of you, have said that the DILR is becoming easier and easier as the CDCs are progressing. My bet, my friends, is because if you have heard me talk about DILR a lot of times, I think it is becoming more and more familiar. When it becomes familiar, it appears easy. It's always going to be true for anything for that matter. Even QA, some of you have said that QA is easy. Actually, it is. You'll be, I mean, I will show you the numbers, and it is not really completely off the mark from, let's say, a CAT 20 or a CAT 21. But it is important to understand again and again that, boss, if the paper is tough, it can be decidedly said that it's going to be tough for everyone else too. I think if you can understand that, I believe that I think you should welcome, my friends, and I'm genuinely telling you this, you should welcome, my friends, a very tough paper also. Certain home truths which will come to you when the scores are shown to you in a few moments from now, you will realize that the 75 percentile or the 85 percentile does not change. What really changes is the 95 percentile or the 99 percentile, even in a tough paper. I want you to understand this. Bhargavi, I am going to answer this question to you, whether really VRC was very tough or not. Mukul, the CDC solutions will be put up if they are not already put up by tomorrow afternoon is the last. Okay. But again, before you guys discuss whether VRC was a bouncer or anything else is a bouncer, here is the perspective that I want to give it to you very clearly. Yes, Suyash, one of the questions in geometry was wrong. Don't worry about that. I know GP sir today, Nilesh Srivastava, you guys are stuck with ARCs today for this entirety of the session. Okay, let me look at the numbers. Here are the numbers for you. As you can see, close to 5,000 submissions as of yesterday evening that we have taken up, which means this is a very representative sample. This is a very representative sample of what will be as far as the overall scores are concerned if this were the real cat. Look at the numbers that I can see. Guys, 101 was 99.99 percentile as compared to a 124 for cat 21 and 130 for cat 20. But I want you to focus on the 85 percentile. For a moment, before we go to the next slide, I want you to look at the 85 percentile. I agree with you, Jay. Before you say that it's tough or difficult, please give it a little bit of a shot to look at the numbers very closely. Look at that 85 percentile number. If you look at the CDC 6 that we talk about, at 85 percentile is 47 marks. Your cat 21 was 51 marks at the 85 percentile. What does it mean? What does the difference of 4 marks mean at an 85 percentile? It only means, friends, if you really digest it, one less mistake. It might appear saying that यार ये theoretical है, नहीं theoretical है, एक less गलती करेंगे. Now, obviously, in a paper where everything is really tough, as some of you have been proclaiming, I am saying that one less mistake, a one little careful thing would have got you the 85 percentile. But yes, now go to the 97 percentile. The difference is 13 marks. And at 99.5, the difference becomes 21 marks. What I want to showcase with this slide, and an important slide for you to understand, is this, my friends, that till the 85th percentile, which means 75 percentile in each of the sections approximately. 85 percentile will mean 75 to 80 percentile in each of the sections. Very tough paper or an easy paper or a very easy paper, if I can compare 20, 21, 20 and CDC 6, will all be same at the lower level. What does that mean? It means, and I want you to listen to this and digest it again, second time I'm saying the same sentence, that there will be enough easy questions. There will be enough easy questions to clear that 75 percentile cutoff in each of the sections or 85 percentile broadly in the overall. Now the tough get going in a very, very difficult paper. In a very difficult paper, every question counts in each section. Here is once again my theory as compared to probably a GP search theory or a Shivku search theory or even probably partially a Jijo search theory, is that, hey, here you have a luxury of making more mistakes. Let's say you are a person who are always attempting 50 questions. Nobody attempting 50 questions, I know that. Most of you are attempting 30, 35 questions. And therefore, when you start getting 17 correct and 17 wrong, you will get only 35 marks. But when you are attempting 50, at 25 correct and 25 wrong, you are going to crack a 90 percentile even at this stage. I am not, again, if you have heard me in the race to 99 or any other areas, I have been an advocate. I have always been an advocate of giving that one extra shot to attempt more. That is what I want you to look at. And that is very, very clearly visible here, because in a tough paper, you will make more mistakes. But if you become extremely very, conservative and start attempting very, very less, your percentage of or your accuracy will go down any which way, and overall scores will go down. And that's what you can see. Some of you have said, I think I've heard somebody saying 100 marks will get a very, very good score in this kind of thing. And you can possibly do that. So Rahul Verma, DILR ruined your score. But do you know that if you had got even 4 questions correct, Rahul Verma, you would have probably got the minimum cutoff that is required for an 80-85 percentile. Similarly, yes, absolutely correct, Sambhavi. 20 marks in DILR is a 97 percentile. 14 marks was an 87 percentile. So, like Lakshya Dhawan is saying, and if I may use your name, Lakshya, what we are trying to explain is, look, we don't know what is going to come on the 27th of November. However, being aware that there could be a bouncer and that there could be something very, very difficult coming your way, how do you respond to that in an exam? How do you not panic? How do you not kind of make a mess out of it? That is what this paper is all about. Okay, keep that is what I would say. Okay, now Raj Chaurasia, I think the attempt of the paper will be done. I can definitely do that in like I did in Delhi, but probably unfortunately I don't have the paper right now with me, so I will not be able to do that in this particular session, but some other session, maybe in the next few days, maybe I can actually show you how to attempt that also. Fair enough. Let's just go to the next part of it. Of course, this is the same thing. As you can see at the very high level, the moment it touches the 80 plus mark, 85 plus mark, your percentiles will grow up very, very nicely. Yes. Okay, now let me very, very quickly look at it. Sagar Garg is saying completely how to avoid carrying baggage in the next section. My answer to that question, Sagar, is very, very simple. You are allowing a very tough paper to affect you for the next section. Please, there is no bigger truth than to understand that if it is a very tough section, like the Rene Descartes set in RC, was so difficult that you can't understand what you're reading half the time when you're reading it. And the choices, of course, were not difficult. It's a different issue that people didn't read it. Whereas the other one on economic pacifism was not difficult at all. The questions, all the 4 questions were very, very straightforward. So I want you to understand that yes, Kuldeep, I'll come back to that in a moment. But here is what I want you to understand when I see the scores, that if there are easy questions, you're not supposed to figure it out. You will make mistakes. That's okay with me. That's okay. It should be okay with you too. Okay. So Kuldeep Rawat is asking, less questions is equal to guaranteed less mark to a large extent. I kind of venture in to say that is going to be true, Kuldeep. So, hence, I'm saying just give that one extra bit of push to your total overall attempts is what I would say. Here is the numbers. Like you can see this. And I can showcase to you from a 75 percentile to an 85 percentile to get the cutoff from a IIM Ahmedabad cutoff to a IIM Lucknow cutoff. You're talking about 4 marks, one less mistake. So 21 marks. As you can see clearly, till about a 94 or even 90th percentile, the marks difference is only 3 marks between CAT 2021 and CAT 2021, CAT 20 and the CDC 6. Then it becomes higher when it goes to the 99th percentile. That shows that this paper was a difficult paper. There is no gainsaying this fact. There is no contradicting this fact that this paper was a difficult paper. But did you get that 24 marks? Did you identify the 8 easy questions? Look at this. There were 2 easy, very straightforward, easy verbal ability questions, 22nd and 24th one. Anybody who attempted, and a lot of them attempted and got it correct. Similarly, yes, the passages were difficult, but every passage had 1 or 2 easy questions. So just by adding all the easy questions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 easy questions. And even if you get 50% of the difficult questions or the medium level difficult questions right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 medium level difficult questions and 7 easy questions. If you can get 6 easy questions correct and even 6 out of the 12 medium level questions correct, That's 12 correct. Even if you get 11 wrong, 12 threes are 36 minus 12, 24 would have given you a 90th percentile. Those of you I'm talking about struggling with 90th percentile. Or another three more, four more questions extra, you're going to get your 99th percentile without much of an ado. The reason why we do these things, my friends, why this information is important, is to showcase to you that look, don't get bogged down if the set or the questions are very choosy, the questions are difficult, or even the options are very, very difficult. That's all I'm saying. Abhishek, for example, is saying, I got all correct in first RC, which means it's a difficult RC and you still got it very correct. I mean, brilliant. Indrajit, 30 is brilliant. So PJ Sakshi, I don't know whether you attended my session in Delhi or any other couple of places that I've taken for the for the VRC. PJ, the way to do it is to have a formula for yourself and just go ahead and quickly take a decision within 4.5 minutes for the three questions that comes in. Okay, so Sayantan Sur, I do not believe that you can ever, not only this section, any section, you can pinpoint that you can improve your accuracy by slowing down. So please don't do that, is what I would say. I will never ever believe that just because you slow down, suddenly your accuracy will go up. It cannot. Second, you have no way to know that this paper is a difficult paper because you're already in the middle of the paper. So don't change your game plan, except that budget more mistakes when you come out of the exam hall. So for example, when you are finding that it's very, very tough, instead of reducing the speed, understand that instead of getting 3 correct and 1 wrong in an RC, you might get 2 correct and 2 wrong. For example, 4 RCs are there and 16 questions. If you can get something like 8 or 9 correct, I think that's fair enough. You will still get 20 plus marks there. See, unofficial God is asking a very important question, or made a very important statement here. He says, sir, over attempting is hurting me in VRC. My point is, are you attempting for the heck of attempting, or are you eliminating at least 2 choices before attempting the question from the other 2 choices? If you are able to eliminate at least 2 choices, unofficial God, I don't know what your actual name is, believe me, go back and look at the questions once again. Go back and solve the questions once again. Every time you come out of an exam hall, make sure that all the mistakes that you have done, solve it again, and you will be you will start improving your accuracies. Okay, so that's what. Sakshi, here I would say typically you can start with an RC and then go to VARC, the for verbal part of it, or do 2 RCs verbal and then come back to the 2 RCs. That's one other things you should do. Like Abhishek Luthra is correctly saying, don't attempt blindly. I'll completely agree with you. And Ankush Mathur, sir, my ACAT score and mock score is having a difference of about 8 to 9 questions in every mock. Please help. What should I do? Ankush is asking this question. How many of you have still the same problem? That your ACAT score, so to say, your potential score is always higher than the real score that you get. I assume that's going to be true for almost 90% of you, if not all. In other words, how do I tackle this problem? You know, it is like going into a World Cup. Look at what happened to India when they were playing Afghanistan in the inconsequential match. They made 212. They went bonkers in playing. They went bonkers in playing, whether it was KL Rahul or it was Rohit Sharma. Of course, the game plan was the same still all the time. But they did a fantastic job. Why is that? Because in the back of the mind, they don't care whether they win or they lose. It's okay. Somewhere, my friends, the difference between getting your ACAT score versus actual score is that bindas nature of yours. That not expecting when you go into an exam hall or not. when you are sitting with an expectation that boss मुझे एक बार 90% आला जाए, एक बार 99% आला जाए, एक बार अच्छा मार्क्स आ जाए, एक बार कट ऑफ पार हो जाए, all these questions that come into your mind, you are not focusing on the questions. I'm my apologies to Mr. Ankur Agarwal that he says that Rohit was not there. My point is the effectiveness of the game plan that India does, trying to go all out against the opposition in the to score runs in the very beginning, has played off correctly. Remember, Rohit always plays like that. Virendra Sehwag used to do it, and so is the case with a lot of other successful players. My point is the difference in Aukat's score and your real score. It has nothing to do with your ability. It has nothing to do with your knowledge. It has to do with your mental makeup. When I'm using this statement so much, it's so obvious to all of us. Here is my one more point before I go to the DILR section. Friends, if you really want to get into an IIM, don't wish to get into an IIM. Don't hope to get into an IIM. If you want to get into an IIM, look at question by question without bothering about whether you will get into an IIM or not. The expectations can be put aside. I know it's a very tough ask that I'm asking you to do. There is one session that I plan to take for all of you is the mental makeup session, far more important than probably all the knowledge sessions that are important. It is about how do you kind of focus, concentrate when you're reading RCs. How do you focus, making sure that when you're reading a para jumble question or a para summary question, picking up the right ones. More than the knowledge part of it, it's about the focused technique part of it, which will work on it. Keep that in mind is what I would say. Okay? Because at the end of the day, my belief, and I know for a fact that the guy who gets into an IIM or the top IIM and the guy who doesn't get in, to a large extent, is that focus that matters. It is not the ability. I'm telling you, even today, if you are at 30, 40, 50 percentiles, given that we have enough days, I think we have about 60 days to go, 75 days to go, more than sufficient to be able to crack it. That's my belief on this. Anyway, DILR section, as I said, guys, despite most of the times we keep telling you that there will be easy questions, people get completely bogged down. Look at this. The 75th percentile doesn't change whether the paper is very difficult or very easy in that sense of the word. The difficult paper, what happens, once again, to reiterate what I said about VARC, is that the score becomes very less at 99 or 99.5 percentile as against to a easy sets. There were not too many easy sets. Look at this. 85th percentile was only at 14 marks. And the reason is very simple. The first set, those of you started trying to do that big ice cream set with 5 conditions and multiple ideas, you would have really spent a lot of time. But very good thing is a lot of people did not waste too much of time on that. Or rather, a lot of people did not attempt that. But a lot of people did not attempt that does not mean people did not spend time on that. A lot of people spend time on that. Whereas the second set, if you had solved 2 questions, and the last set you have solved another 2 questions, 4 questions would have been like more than sufficient to get your 75th percentile. And even if you solve 2 full sets, forgetting about the first and the third set, difficult sets, and got something like 6 correct and 2 wrong, you are talking about 18 minus 2, 14, 16. 16 would still have been more than 90th percentile. So here is my those of you who have heard me in Delhi, I said that first, or in Noida or in Gurgaon, at least that was where I was there for the RT99 guys. One of the things that I'm going to tell you is start winning the 90th percentile and the 95th percentile, or start winning, getting the 75th percentile first. So first tell yourself that, look, let me look at all the 4 sets. Let me see one by one and see where I can score. Okay, keep that in mind is what I would say. So Abhishek, once again, I'm saying do not choose. Here is my way of saying it. Let me just tell you something, guys. Let me just tell you something. I want to showcase something. Okay, I am showing something to you. How? Just 1 second. How do I attempt? I hope. Can you just confirm whether you are able to see that slide? Can you just confirm whether you doing the slide? Just this slide. Just once I want you to confirm, because I'm going to tell you how to attempt this set. Okay, just quickly tell me that so that I can use that. Yeah. Now, here is what I'm going to tell you. Here is what I want to tell you how I will attempt the set. My set, okay, let's look at it. Set 1, set 2, set 3, set 4. Let's say there are 4 sets. I will start. First 1 minute. First 1 minute. What I will do is, I'll explain to you how to do this. First 1 minute, quickly see all the 4 sets. There is a PDF, you can see kind of things, the entire paper. Check the set. The first one, okay, it looks like a 6 question set. Next, a 4 question set, 6 question set, 4 question set. It looks like, okay, a lot of number crunching is there. Then something else is there. Some arrangement is there here, or that up, bop, and whatever else. Some number crunching is there. You will have some kind of an idea. Within 1 minute, take a decision how you will go about it. Let's say, for argument's sake, our plan is to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I will spend first 1 minute is over. Remember this. 1 minute is over. Next 3 to 4 minutes, I spend on this. That means up to 5 minutes. Up to 5 minutes. I am reading this carefully, and also making any table that I need to make up. Whatever table or graph, or if it's a set theory, all the diagrams, etc. Kuch to karna padega mujhe. Now at the 5th minute, take a decision. Take a decision. Kar sakte ho ya nahi kar sakte ho. Now how do you take a decision? Based on 2 things. Familiarity and complexity. So because you have chosen set 1, let's say, in the order that you want to solve, only because you thought that it appeared the interesting set, a set which you could solve. So that is, familiarity is done. Now look at the complexity. Bahut complex hai, meaning too many things are there, too many things to remember, too many things to write down. In 5 minutes, leave it. Go to set 2. Now you have another 3 to 4 minutes. That means here up to 9 minutes you will spend. That means another 4 minutes are gone. Once again, take a decision. Take a decision. Now here, again, in this 4 minutes that you're talking about, you will again make some kind of a diagram. You feel that this is possible, you can solve it, then give the next 7-8 minutes for this. Next 7-8 minutes. That means to say 4 plus 7, 11 minutes ho gaya. 9 plus 7, 16 minutes ho gaya. Yeah, 17 minutes ho gaya. No problems. And you solve and attempt. Next, again 3 to 4 minutes you give it here. 17 plus 3, 20. Up to 20th minute you will see. Now once again take a decision. Whether you will solve it, continue to solve it, or not continue. Let's say it is difficult again. Next 23 to 4 minutes you solve. 24 minutes are gone. Again take a decision. You will solve it or not solve it. Now look at this. By the time you are at the 24th minute, we have 16 minutes to go still. You have to take a decision here. If you take a decision, another 8 minutes you would give it for this. That makes it 32 minutes. You will have still 8 minutes to go. Go back to this or go back to this and finish the 3rd set also. Now, if you don't want to do this, you have 16 full minutes, then you go back to saying that, okay, I will do this and I will go back and do this. My point I'm trying to make is the method to do this has to be 1 by 1 rather than jumping to a conclusion saying that I can do. Now in this 8 minutes, let's say you're doing only 3 questions. Let's say in that 8 minutes, you would have done only, let's say 3 questions you have done. Here you have done only 2 questions. You have done only 3 questions somewhere again. No problems, yaar. 8 questions kar diya, but 8 mein se 7 correct ho gaya, so you will get your 20 marks. And mind you, 20 marks would give you, in this kind of a paper, in this kind of a difficult paper, close to 97%. And remember, I told you, if you get 97, 97, 97 in all the three sections, this will be your 99 percentile overall. So there has to be a method in your madness of solving the paper. What happens is, you like something, let's say it's an arrangement, you give 20 minutes to that set, and you are going to get screwed completely. Because after that, you are panicking. Because wo uttara dene ke baad, you goddamn can't solve it. Or the answers don't come. What do? You are completely gone. So keep that in mind, is what I would say. And last, like I said, if you had, let's say, 5 minutes, you would have left this. Then you would have solved this. You would have been 15, 16, 17 minutes gone, or 17 minutes gone. You would have said, 3 minutes gone, I will not do it. Then you would have come here, would have got 30 minutes gone, would have come back here, and probably would have solved 2 more sets. So you could have solved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or maybe 9, something like 9 sets, 9 questions, and it would have been more than sufficient. More than sufficient. Likewise, the last one. So keep that in mind, is what I would say. So coming back to this, I am going to add this back to the stream once again. So I want you to do this way. I hope you have followed this, how to go about attempting DILR. No, it is not Gurupreet Singh. बहुत important है वो, बहुत important है करना. Please do that. Please do that, is what I am saying. देखो प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है ना, जब 4-5 मिनट दे रहे हो आप, यू विल फील शिट, मेरा टाइम चले जा रहा. मत करो यार, आराम से करो उसको. ठीक है? हितेश, कंटिन्यू विद द मॉक्स. So Sahil Bansal, the way I would say it again, I was coming back to my familiarity. The moment you read the set, you need to be able to figure out क्या कितने columns चाहिए, कितने rows चाहिए. वो करना ही पड़ेगा आपको. ठीक है? So keep that, is what I would say. Last but not the least, it's an improvement, obviously, Ayush. It's an improvement, obviously, very, very clearly. Okay? Now, last, one more thing about the QA section before we kind of end up. Once again, if you look at this QA section, guys, okay, let me go back to this again. Once again, just about 13. This is very similar for 75th percentile. Very similar for CAT 20 for the 80th percentile. Then, and as you can see, CAT 21 was more tougher than CDC 6. This was easier, if you notice. This was easier. But only at the 95th percentile, it starts becoming very, very similar as far as the CAT 21 is concerned. As far as the CAT 21 is concerned. The reason is very simple. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, this is a very interesting thing. I want you to listen to this carefully once again. For quant, look at this particular quant section. First question, अरे यार arithmetic का question है, मैंने कर दिया. Second question भी arithmetic का है, almost कर दिया. Then third थोड़ा medium difficult था, मैंने बोला बाद में करूंगा. Medium difficult था, बाद में करूंगा. Medium difficult था, बाद में करूंगा. Medium difficult था, बाद में करूंगा. बहुत difficult दिख रहा है तो करूंगा ही नहीं. You know, this is the way you will go. Medium difficult. Now, when you come to this, when you come to the 10th question or the 7th, 8th question, your entire confidence is gone for a toss. You are saying, shit, क्या हो रहा है यार? कुछ भी नहीं आ रहा है. सब कुछ मेरा second round है. Here is my approach when something like this happens, where you are not getting, next round. Then somewhere here, stop yourself. You would have spent almost 10 minutes by here. And you would have done only 2 questions. And you would have kind of finished 15 minutes हो गया होगा यहाँ तक. And you are at the 53rd question, 10 question भी नहीं हुआ, और 15 minute हो गया, nothing you could solve, everything is next step. Now, there are 2 ways of doing it. You can start from the back. Go back from the back. Then do this. Then you can leave this. Then do this. Leave this. Then do this. Leave this. You know, you probably will end up at the 40th minute and doing this. This is also a possibility. This is also a possibility. I want you to understand that. I want you to understand that. So, जब first 10-12 minutes बहुत ही गंदा होता है, don't worry about it. 2 ही question किया होगा आपने, 3 ही question किया होगा, 15 minutes are over, you are feeling panicky. Here is what I'm going to say. Go back from the start. You will be surprised. Something will come and you will be better off than that. So keep that, my friends. And अभिषेक, अगर 5 मिनट देने के बाद अगर फेवरेट टॉपिक है, लगता है कर लेंगे यार, देखो, like GP sir would say it, all that you need to do in your life, my friends, is to flirt with these questions. Even if you love that question, अगर मार्क नहीं मिल रहा है तो छोड़ दो उसको. Simple. Excellent Prakar Mishra. That's exactly what I was trying to tell you to do. ठीक है? नहीं यार, Janil Trivedi, ऐसा नहीं hard होगा. It will not be so difficult. But I'm saying, if it is difficult, I want you to do it this way. I want you to do it this way. Is that fine? With that, I think I come to the last of it. Thank you so much on this. I think the CDC solutions, if they're not already up, will be up in the next few minutes or so. I'll make sure that by tomorrow morning itself, at least, I'll just check with my team. We will make sure that that is taken care of. Okay? So just try doing this, what we have done. And every time we come back and give you some ideas, if that idea is not working, don't stick to it. Change that idea. Try more things. We are talking about another 9 more CDCs itself. All of you have not done all the prime mocks. There are 15 prime mocks we have given you. So here is what I'm saying. Don't worry about not getting marks, but make sure that every third day at least, write a mock or at least a sectional test. Your only purpose of writing the sectional test is to check out whether you are able to implement your strategies. Second, when you're analyzing a mock, analysis of a mock is of 3 stages. 1, figure out what you have got right. Whatever you have got wrong, make sure that you resolve every question, even if it's RC, parajumbles, whatever. Resolve every question from there. And then the third part of it is solve all the questions which you have not solved in the exam hall. Now, what will happen is, when I am using the word solve, you can't solve it even after the exam hall, even if you give more time. That is when, please go back and see the solution at least. Because अगर आपने solution देख लिया, at least वो समय में आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि यार समझ तो आ रहा है, kind of things. You will come back to it. Similar question will come back somewhere. So those of you who didn't understand my Hindi, what I'm saying is, let's say you tried solving, you got it wrong. You tried solving again after the exam hall and you still got it wrong. Don't worry about it. See the solution without any doubt about it. Go back and see the solution and forget about it. Similarly, those questions which you have not attempted in the exam hall, don't leave them. Don't leave them. Go back and try to solve them. If you can't solve them, go back and see go and see the solutions. What is happening, what will happen when you do that is slowly and steadily that idea, that familiarity of the question. I'm again and again saying it's a pattern matching, guys. This exam is a pattern exam. This exam is not a knowledge exam. It's not an aptitude exam. It's a mental exam and an exam which kinds of makes you get into the rhythm and the pattern. And if you can get there, I think you will do it fantastically well. Okay. With that, Aditya, Roshan and others, the video solutions, let me just check with my my team right now. We'll make sure that that is put up very, very soon. Okay. Predicted percentiles, Chaturvedi, Anshika Chaturvedi, I will make sure that somewhere around October 1st week, we will start off. Okay. Star batch is starting off already, Ismet. Okay. So Abhishek, Paul, those of you who have still an issue and some of the things that I am not able to take it up right now, I am giving you my email ID, guys. It's arks@careerlauncher.com. Write down a little more detail of what are your problems, what exactly is the issue, how many attempts you are making in each of the sections, how many mistakes you are making, all those things on arks@careerlauncher.com. Hopefully, I'll be able to answer them within 24 to 48 hours. I'm sure you will be better off with that. Fair enough? The info on the star batch will be given, Naveen. I think it should have been announced today, but it will be announced tomorrow without fail. Okay? Yes, Arjun Moitro. Give me 2 days. By Wednesday or worst case Thursday morning, you will get a complete plan of how to do the QA and the DILR for the QA 1000 and the DILR 1000, the introduction to each of these things. Completely done. Okay. With that, thank you so much. And if you have any questions more, please write to arks, ARKSS at careerlauncher.com. We'll see you soon in the next CDC Mock 2. Thanks once again. Yeah, Naveen, I have put in effort with the tech team and we are trying to do it. If there is any question, send a support with a CC to me. I will keep following it up so that we can do it faster. Okay. Yes, Ashutosh, that is what I have been telling you to do that. Okay. Good night and thank you so much. Good night. Shabba Khair. Shubharatri to all of you. Good night.